Hi, and welcome back to Transit TV. We are into the running of the season, a time when every game matters. This weekend is a very massive weekend, being that Arsenal, the league leaders, are visiting the Etihad to lock horns with Manchester City, who are second, 1 point at deep on the top. It's also a crucial weekend because Brighton, who has been a thorn in the flesh of big teams in England, is also hosting Liverpool this weekend. It's a massive weekend, a very huge weekend in the title race that win, lose or draw, every result has huge implications in the title challenge this season. With me to look at this game, this couple of games this weekend are the regulars. Ugum, my man, and of course, Nimi is on the background to look at these games, and let's look at the implications, what we think is going to happen, and how we feel this game is going to pan out. Guys, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Reggie. Thank you, Mimi.
Thank you very much, Osborne. Thank you, Reggie.
Yeah, we are at that time of the season. This is what players play for. This is what fans wish they support their teams for. When it comes to this time of the season, let their club be counted. This is the season, the time of the season when managers and players wish they are in the mix of it all. A few years ago, nobody would have thought that Arsenal would be here today. Regulars like Chelsea and United are nowhere to be found this time around, and this is the joy and sweetness of the game of football. Nothing is decided until games are played. This season is Arsenal, is Liverpool. Liverpool last season, we know, by this time of the season, we are battling to make top four. This season, they are in the mix of the title challenge, regardless of the fact that the club has announced that he'll be leaving at the end of the season. Nobody knows if that has added extra motivation to the players, that they have been having a very good run, except for the dent that Arsenal gave their current form a few weeks back. So, guys, like I said, this is where it all matters. It's popular in England, the running, the last 10 games of the season. It starts this weekend. Arsenal traveling to the Etihad. I was looking at the Big Six table for this season, and it will shock you that Arsenal is topping that table. I have my Arsenal is topping that table with 10 points. Second on that table is Manchester City, and followed by Liverpool, then Chelsea. Manchester United has had the worst record this season on the Big Six league, which tells you how far Arsenal has come under Mikel Arteta. Because normally, I remember Arsenal won last at Etihad 2015 when Sami Cazorla and Giroud gave Arsenal a 2-1 lead at the Etihad. This is almost 10 years ago. Long time. Ugum, how do you think this game is a title decider?
I don't think this game is a title decider. I think that we're dealing with three solid teams that are at the top of their game at the moment. All of them full of game-winning players, game-changing players, and one game at this point with 10 games to go shouldn't be a decider. Yeah, especially with literally. Wants to hear me?
Yeah. We lost you for a few.
Can you hear me?
We lost you for a few seconds there.
Okay. So what I'm expecting is that there'll be points dropped, even for a team like Manchester City, that once they go on a run, is it. They win everything. I don't think is going to be the case this year. I think that this year is more competitive. I think that this year there's going to be a difference. All three teams, I believe, will drop points between now and the end of the season. So I don't think this game is a potential decider.
I hear you. Maybe like I said, this season, the Manchester City has played 7 Big Six games. They've lost 1 to Arsenal, drawn 4, and won just 2, having 10 points out of those 7 points, possible 21 points. They only have 10 points to the kitchen. Arsenal has played 6, possible 18 points. They have 10 points. They've won 2, drawn 4, and lost none to any of the big sides. How much do you think hangs on this game?
Personally, I think this is an Arsenal game to win. Manchester City will be dealing with about 6 injuries, possible injuries: John Stones, Kyle Walker, Erling Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, Ederson are all presumed innocent. So, are all presumed injured. So I think the pendulum will swing to Arsenal. I think Manchester City, as we all have been saying, are not, in the best shape of form this season, especially against the top 6 teams. So going against Arsenal, Arsenal is full of confidence, full of belief. But after the international break, sometimes players lose focus. They've been out for 2 weeks. So coming back to the hustle and bustle of the EPL sometimes may take its toll. So I think it's going to be a great game. I expect it to be rapid fire, rapid release, where both teams go against themselves with full throttle. Even if it's going to be the Etihad, Arsenal will feel emboldened after the initial result from the first leg at the Emirates Stadium. So I see Arsenal coming in. This is going to be a tough game, and I think this game presumably would end in a draw.
Okay, I hear you, Nimi. Ugum, you heard what Nimi said there. Yeah, it's a massive, it's a big one, very, very massive game this weekend. Oh, do you think, like you mentioned about international break, do you think, playing the game on Sunday probably will give Arsenal, since they are traveling to Etihad, some more time to, because most times, sometimes you come back from international break, you have the game on Saturday. But this time around, it's going to be played on Sunday. Do you think it's going to help Arsenal in any way?
It will help Arsenal. It will also help City. I mean, both teams have had people out on international break. The only place I will probably object to Nemi's position is the issue about the injuries. Manchester City are perennial, offenders in this aspect. Yeah, you see them act like they are injured. On that day, they're going to have their full strength squad. I don't think they are going to miss any player on Sunday, except perhaps their goalkeeper, who's been out for a bit. But I would not be surprised if that goalkeeper starts. So for all of them, Kyle Walkers, De Bruynes, and the rest of them, they will all be fit for that game. So I believe Arsenal know better than to think that City are going to be depleted. A national day of rest, I believe that both teams will benefit from that.
Okay, I hear you. So let's get into it. Going for Arsenal, can you give us the combination you want to see in the midfield? I think you start and win this game for Arsenal.
To start and win this game for Arsenal, I would play Declan Rice. I would play Jorginho and Odegaard. And the reason I would play Jorginho is just because I don't think Thomas Partey is completely up to speed for the Premiership and to play against City. If he is up to speed, I'll play him ahead of Jorginho with Declan Rice and Odegaard. But I will not be afraid playing Jorginho despite City's ability, because on the counter, Jorginho can really damage and injure the opponent with his passing, especially his Martinelli's feet and Saka his feet. So yes, that's the combination I'll start with in the midfield.
Okay, I hear you. I think I kind of agree with you, but I'll lean towards more of playing Thomas Partey. He was fit and had, I think, 20 minutes before the break, and I'm sure I thought I would have put him under some serious work while the other players were away on international break. Of course, he played against PP. I think he got 60 minutes in that game, which helps him to get to shape. Because Guardiola would have seen what the junior has done for Arteta in the past few weeks with these big games, and probably will try to work him out. So I would love Partey to stay, even if he just 45 minutes, for the physical presence and ability against the midfield of City for 45 minutes, to stand them up and see if Saka and Martinelli can do damage up front. Then he can drop the Rice into that place and push, do other options up front. So having said that, so what will you do with the attack? I'll still stay with you. I would think about the City lineup and how you think City should hurt Arsenal.
Attack stays the same. I'll play Kai Havertz, Bukayo Saka, and Martinelli. Yeah, Kai Havertz is in great form. I saw the runs. I just watched the game playing against the Netherlands, and I saw the kind of runs he was making. So he is sharp as a result, especially as far as the runs are concerned. So he's gonna provide that outlet for both Martinelli and Saka to take advantage of. So yes, I'll start those three.
Choma, welcome to the show. Thank you to have you. Before we go to City, give 1 second. Let me touch base with Choma right quick before we look at City. Choma, just ask the boom the combination is going to start in the midfield if given the chance for this game. You're mute.
Mute, yeah. So you're talking about the midfield, yes?
Yeah, for Arsenal, which combination would you want to start the game with to give Arsenal a chance of winning the game? Midfield of three.
Rice, Havertz. Can I do that?
Just tell me, because they're going to go to attack as well.
Partey.
Yeah, so let's have your three. No, you have three. So you said Havertz, you said Partey, you said Rice. Odegaard is not there.
How can I even say? I told you I'm coming from a very hot party. Have to give up Partey for Odegaard.
So you start Rice, Havertz, and Odegaard.
Yeah.
No Jorginho, no Partey.
It's mancity.
Yeah.
We need to be shiny. Like, put those shiny boys in there so that their chest will be cutting. Then probably when we score like 2 goals, we'll bring Georgie in just to cool the tempo down. We need to give them those guys that when they look at their chest will be flying.
Okay, so what will you do in the attack? Now, before you go to the attack, you don't think that Partey, he got 30 minutes before the break. Then during the break, he played against QPR, I think. And I'm sure I thought I would have put him on through his paces during this break. I don't think he will be fit enough to at least give 45 minutes into that game and help Arsenal, have a grip of the game in the midfield. With Partey and Declan Rice in the midfield, I think it gives Arsenal the better strong foot on the game. And you're using Odegaard to support Saka and Martinelli up front to do damage against the defense of City. You don't think that combination will work better? And when you bring Havertz into the midfield, so you're trying to start Jesus up front or Trossard?
Of course, I want Trossard forward, and then Havertz can sit back. That's what I want. Because we need to, I think the tempo of the game needs to be high.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I don't want it to be flat. It doesn't have to be too flat. It needs to be quick. It needs to be high.
So your attack will be Saka, Martinelli, Trossard.
Perfect.
That's a little bit.
You want circles around them, make them dizzy.
That's a little bit of ambition at Etihad. They're playing attacking.
If you have it, why don't you show it? If you have it, then let them know you have it.
I like that confidence. Mimi, before you tell us about City, how do you react to this lineup Guma and Choma has given us here?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so I think Partey will start. The reason I say so is because I watched Ghana's 2 friendly games against Uganda and Nigeria, and he wasn't part of those games. So invariably, Arsenal must have communicated to the Ghana Football Association that he's going to be in London. So
yeah, he did travel. He did
try to make sure that he's fit. I don't think Arteta will play Jorginho in this game. I think he will be a little bit combative and try to pull Partey, Odegaard, and Rice. Remember, a draw is not going to be bad for Arsenal. It's a positive result coming to the Etihad. I don't know the last time Arsenal came there to pick a result in the Etihad. So as regards, I think the lineup looks good. I don't know if Kiwo is going to still be preferred on that left back situation, if Kiwo is still going to be there. But I think
what about the attack?
The attack, I think, Kai, Trossard, and Saka will be, preferably. I think the lineup picks itself.
It's interesting. You mentioned Kai Havertz. Talk to me about Kai Havertz. I remember the beginning of the season, Chelsea fans were happy that player was uploaded to Arsenal. It's strange that in a big game that is tiny title charge, you as a Chelsea fan, you're mentioning Kai Havertz to start for Arsenal to give them a chance.
It's all about what have you done for me lately. right now, Kai Havertz is in that form. He's in the form of his life. He feels confident. Arteta trusts him. He seems to have known the system, the style of what is expected of him. So, I think he's feeling confident, and he will, I think, that's it. He's just feeling confident. You could see it in the national team too. He's enjoying his soccer, and the style fits his play. But is that something that, still comes to mind? Is he a striker? Is he a midfielder? Is he a false nine? What is Arteta trying to do? But, we just have to watch and see.
Well, I like the first part of your reaction to that. It shows, that's football, actually. And I can keep telling people, Arteta and Edu have shown that we can trust their decision-making when it comes to signing of players. The talent ID, all the players that Arteta has signed, they say at least 7 out of 10 are turned to be what he told us they're going to be. Starting from Ben White, even Ramsdale is on the bench now, David Raya. Kivio, when he came in, we were saying, who is this guy? The last 4 games, he's been very massive for us now. Gabriel Jesus, all these guys, they have all come in and they have done this for us now. And all of a sudden, like I said, Arsenal is now in the title challenge consistently for the past 2 seasons now, which, for me, I don't think anybody envisaged this from 3-4 seasons ago. I remember when Arteta signed for Arsenal, the talk was that he's inexperienced, immature. His first professional game as a manager, job as a manager is going to be for Arsenal, a massive club for that matter. But he has proved everybody wrong. So, Dimi, have you said that? Let's assume you're a City fan. How do you think Guardiola should line up, be able to hurt Arsenal in this one?
I think Guardiola will line up in a 3-2-4-1 formation. I think Ake, again, the squad picks itself. Ake, Akanji, Walker, Rodri. If Stones
I think, Walker has a little hamstring scare, but
we don't know yet. As Osborne said, you never can tell on that day. But let's say he's fit. It's going to be Rodri, John Stones, double pivot. Foden picks himself. Alvarez will start. He started almost all the games. Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and Haaland if he's fit. So the system picks itself. There's a big doubt. Ederson, I don't think Ederson will make it. So since Ederson will make it, Stefan Ortega will take his place. But Guardiola would want to stifle Arsenal. He would want to hold Arsenal, want to play those expansive football, coming back to the tail end of last season, what he did and the things that he did, to win the Champions League and the league and the FA Cup. So he would want to continue that route. So I just feel, Arteta would have to come with his A game for this game and don't sit back.
Yeah, the thing is, like I tell people, in the last 2 or 3 seasons, Arsenal against City, it's not like City has really outplayed Arsenal, but it just has maybe some individual mistakes or referee somewhere wanting one or missed another. Arsenal don't get the result that they deserve most times. And sometimes City have won these games in the last second of the game, the last 5 minutes, or sometimes last minute of the first half and stuff like that. And Guardiola, sometimes in his press conferences, you see him, he looks like he's playing mind games. But if you look at his face, he's serious. I remember the last time he said Arsenal, he doesn't know how to play Arsenal anymore. And the team is good in one-on-one. Arsenal go you to player to player. That it's difficult to play against them that way. If you want to isolate them, the same thing. So looking at these 2 teams now, the way we have thought they're going to line up, just be the devil advocate. Who do you think is going to have the superior outcome of the game based on the players and what we have seen about these 2 teams so far this season?
I think again it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a game where there's going to be 2 heavyweights coming into rumble, and when 2 elephants fight, the ground suffers. So I think it's like a 51-49.
Okay.
Arsenal has grown a lot, but at the end of the day, Arsenal will be playing at the Etihad.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a tough atmosphere. But the way Arsenal have grown, I think they can handle it. I think if I was to put my money, I'll give City the slight advantage to get this game. Okay.
Ugum, having looked at the possible lineup for this game, guys, is gone. Do you think it's going to be a poor for us now, or do you think it's going to be, regardless of what's going on with City so far this season, it's going to be difficult for us now to come away from Etihad with any kind of result? I think we have lost it. We can react to that. On mute, Choma.
Well, I think we're ready. We've been ready since the Community Shields, believe me, because it's always been about where our head was at with City, conquering the fear and bringing ourselves to that position where we can actually play them like, okay, yes, you're Man City, treble winners, you have all your players where you need them. So I don't think going into this game, I don't see any kind of threats. Believe me, I don't feel threatened. I feel I just hope that Arteta doesn't overthink like his master. Arteta and Pep, they tend to overthink this kind of games, yeah. So they over-prepare, overpad, overdo, you understand? And it's like there's too much aesthetics to the game, something that's supposed to be simple.
Uh-huh.
You see that mentality that we play that Community Shield with? It lives rent-free in my head. Yes, it went to extra time, but it was a fighting mentality, and that's what we have to bring, because I can tell you that we actually do have all our guys where we want them. I think we're ready.
Okay.
We're ready with the first 11. We're ready on the bench. We're ready.
I see. I feel you. So, Ugum, like I said, Astoma, we have seen possible lineup for these 2 teams. Where are you at with Arsenal? Do you think Arsenal has the possibility of getting good result out of this game. That's one side. And the second side, go ahead.
Okay, absolutely. I think Arsenal have a good chance of winning the game, but it's not going to, by any stretch, be any easy. It's going to be a tough one. I think that this game will be set up like the last two games Arsenal have played against City. It's going to be a lot of one-on-one engagement, right? The only way Arsenal have been able to match up with City has been with players taking their opponent one-on-one, right? So it will not be a case of who is superior in those one-on-one duels. Not necessarily superior by ability or talent, but superior by application, intensity, discipline, right? So, so for Arsenal to get a result, positive result, I think that a draw in this game will be positive, but I think that a win is more needed, right? So for them to get a win in this game would be a case of the players being focused 100% of the time in their goals, right? If you're the person staying with Phil Foden, you can know that Phil Foden is as tricky as ever. I watched this game, actually, just even stay watching this game against Belgium. Mm-hmm. The young man can take the ball and do what he wants to do with it. So if you're the person engaging with him one-on-one, you better come prepared. You better come focused for the whole 90-something minutes that the game is going to last. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's where the secret lies for Arsenal. I think the players have the ability. I think they have the talent. I think now they have the self-belief and confidence. It's now the application and the focus.
So let me start with you, Zinchenko and Kivio. Having said what you said, it's going to be probably more of man-to-man battle. Zinchenko helps you with possession and having grip of the game, while Kivio gives you that defense solidity, being a center defender himself and playing from the left side, just like Ake, gives you that assurance defensively. And, of course, also a way of controlling the game, but in a different way. So what choice will you make there?
Kivio, no doubt. And the reason for Kivio is that I'm not going to change a winning team. They've built up momentum. Yes, I know the momentum has kind of been broken with this break. But prior to that, they built up this momentum with Kivio starting every game on left back and playing really well. Over the break, he just helped his country qualify for the Euros. So that's another feather added to his cap. And the same thing applies to Zinchenko. He also helped Ukraine, captained Ukraine actually, to qualifying for the Euros. So I will play Kivio because of the body of work he's done since January. I think he's earned that first berth there. And he hasn't been terrible also with distribution. You know, it added to his defensive duties. I just think that
assist as well.
Yeah. I just think that playing Zinchenko will be a bit of playing into Pep's hands, because Pep knows Zinchenko inside out and will definitely find a way to take advantage of him.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you. Oh, what did I want to ask you? Last season, in retrospect, I remember at the beginning of this season, I raised my hands up for Gary Neville, because last season he was talking about Arsenal, Mikel Arteta, the players and their emotional stability and maturity going into the form last season. He was talking about it. I kind of complain, what is this guy talking about? Allow people to enjoy their wins. But when it came crashing, personally, I could now see why he was saying that. It looked like Arsenal were a little bit on the edge with their emotions. And once they had one bad result in the mix of all that running, it kind of affected the team and they couldn't really stand it. Do you think this season Arteta has done a better job of that, both with himself and the players?
I think the saying that goes, you live and learn. Arteta has lived and he's learning. Those players too are psychologically more equipped. I don't know if you watched the All or Nothing, the Arsenal All or Nothing, and you could see that when Arteta came in, the message he was trying to pass and how those players were not psychologically buying or psychologically bought in. But now, these players, they saw last season. They don't want to repeat. And that's why he went and he got a Rice, for example. Now Partey is not there, you have Rice. Last season, Partey was out. It went like this. So, all in all, I think Arsenal has learned their lessons. And it's a different ballgame, man. The Arsenal of this season is different from the Arsenal of last season. They have more belief. There's more belief. And, they still have the Champions League too. So the players are believing. So let's I think it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough game. I can't wait to watch it. It's not going to be that game 2 seasons ago when Arsenal were beating 6-1, or is it 6-1 or 5-0 or something. It's going to be a tough game. So can't wait to see it.
Yeah, before we go ahead, our viewers, just to let you know, on Saturday, we're going to be at the Merriam Park in Houston, Texas for a fan pre-game show. And of course, on Sunday, we'll be live as well at the Velvet Oak pub on West Alabama by West Oak district. We're going to be live there to have a pre-game show before the game, and of course watch along with the game, and also talk to fans of both Arsenal and Manchester City at the end of the game, depending on what the outcome is. So keep it locked on this channel and get all the real fan reactions and actions of this game, considering the stakes on this match. So let me ask you guys, Ugum, if you are asked which 3 player in City lineup will decide the game for them, the Arsenal must take care of if they want to win or get good result out of this game?
I'll say Rodri, Philip Foden, and Kevin De Bruyne. I would have chosen Bernardo Silva, but because Kevin De Bruyne has a knack for delivering against Arsenal, that's the only reason I would name him ahead of Bernardo Silva. He always influences the game against Arsenal, and so he'll be there. I'm not choosing Haaland because without De Bruyne's contribution and supplies, Haaland will be starved. And so Rodri is the most important because that guy is a serial fouler that never gets
booked.
They booked for anything. He will commit countless fouls that influence the game, and nothing happens. So he's going to do the same thing. He's going to continue to nibble at Odegaard, especially. You will watch how many fouls he's going to give. He's going to commit against Odegaard in that game, and he's going to be really influential for City.
So having said that, how do you think Arsenal should manage these 3 players?
Well, managing them would be, quick release of the ball, and again, remember to stay focused. It's easy for Rodri to wind you up with his fouling. He doesn't do that, and you could be tempted to retaliate, and then you get sent off, or you could be tempted to be put off from your game because of that. So it'll be them keeping their heads, and like I said in my earlier comments, it's going to be a one-on-one thing. So whoever is going to play against Rodri should give him tit for tat. I mean, if he attacks you, you attack as well. Because in addition to his defensive duties, he does a fair bit of attacking as well. So if you keep him busy defending, he will not have as much premium in the attacking phase, where he can be quite influential for City. On the other hand, and that applies to Kevin De Bruyne as well, keep the ball ticking and keep him doing some defensive work. He's not quite that spring chicken that he used to be anymore. He's going to tell on him, if you give him a real intensive application in the game. Foden, same thing. These are players that are comfortable, but they're not the best at defending, except Rodri. So keep them defending and defend well against them, and you have a chance.
So you agree with Ugum? Are these the danger men for you in City lineup, or do you have somebody else you think should be in those 3? And who goes up? You're on mute. Somebody on mute.
I think those are the guys to watch out for. And then this young man, Jeremy Doku. I caught a game yesterday, and oh my days, that guy was running circles around defenders and doing too much from the wing. If he's given an opportunity, and yesterday he played, I mean, Foden was there and Doku was there. And those guys, they can be very Foden, for me, I say he's very annoying as a footballer because he exasperates you and he tends to get the best out of you when you're exasperated to Foden. So these are the guys to watch out for, believe me. I'm just in my head like thinking.
Yeah, I agree with you. Especially Kevin De Bruyne. I remember last season, Arsenal had City here, throughout that game. But once Kevin De Bruyne came in, but then I told him to go outside the field against Zinchenko. Within 5 minutes, delivered 2 goals to City, and that was how that game was decided. So I strongly believe that, yes, if Kevin De Bruyne starts that game or anytime he comes into that game, Arsenal have to have special arrangement to take care of him. Rodri, can come from deep and sometimes score goals, but if De Bruyne doesn't deliver and Arsenal goes ahead, of course the Rodri can only get an equalizer or or something. But Kevin De Bruyne for me is going to be very key. Like Ugun said, he's no longer that energetic and Pep doesn't even give him defensive duties anymore in the team. He kind of stays more up front to try to do damage. Yeah. And the good thing about him too is he hardly plays 90 minutes these days. So for the time he's going to be on the pitch, if he starts the game, if Arsenal is able to, take care of him for 60 minutes, most likely he's going to be subbed, and then Arsenal will be good. So I think I agree with you guys, on that regard. Those 3 players are going to be very, very key for Arsenal. Defensively, City, I don't think any of their defenders has had a very good game this season. They've all been shaking one way or the other. John Stones, has been injured. He came back. I think he has a scare as well. So we'll see by tomorrow, between our weekend, and what is going to happen with the fitness of those players. So let's look at Arsenal. Jimmy, let me start with you. So with Arsenal, which 3 players do you think City have to must take care of if they want to get a result out of the game?
Number 1, Odegaard. They have to hold that boy, man. That boy's killer passes. It reminds me of myself, those days.
As a keeper.
With those killer passes. Those dissecting passes.
Super keeper.
As a keeper.
So I think Odegaard, one person they have to look out forward to is Rice too. Rice is if you neutralize.
We only have one other guy on this podcast who can tell you who the other guy is.
Oh man! So if they could neutralize Rice and they could neutralize Odegaard, I think they have a chance, and that's where Osborne talked about Rodri kicking. We have to check out the foul count against Odegaard when the game starts. The last player that I think will be, obvious, Kai Havertz is in top form right now. He's going to be key to how Arsenal plays. He's going to be key in terms of.
I knew you were going to say Kai Havertz.
Him starting the press, not giving those City, not giving Ake, not giving the center backs, not giving them any chance to hold that ball. Akanji, Ake, not giving them any chance for starting that press there. And I think he's going to be key. And most of Arsenal plays are going to be determined by Kai Havertz. So if he could stifle them from the start there, I think the job will be easier. So those three names are, going to be the names I will look out for.
Ugoma, Trevor, do you guys agree with Nemi?
I mean, so.
Yeah, Trevor, go ahead.
So, go on, guys.
No, who can say something? Go say something.
Okay, you mentioned Kai, Odegaard, and who else?
Rice.
Rice. No Martinelli?
I want to agree with him.
To be honest,
I want to agree with
it's a difficult question for Arsenal as a team right now,
yes.
honestly, because
Yes.
you can count like 6-7 players who have really been very, very key to what Arsenal have been doing. So, but let's just stay on three. You know, that's the joy of
Yeah, I agree with him. The person I was a bit indecisive about was Declan Rice, but I think that for us to take care of Rodri, Declan Rice will be the man. Yeah, Declan Rice has the right temperament, has the right intense level of intensity, focus, and all that to influence the game at both ends of the pitch. He just finished captain in England. He's on a high. So yes, the combination of Odegaard, of course, Odegaard is a massive form. The other person I would have introduced into this three would have been Martinelli because, again, just like De Bruyne is to Arsenal, against Arsenal, that's how Martinelli is against City. Martinelli tends to have good games against City. But I'll stick with I'll stick with Nimi's position.
Same, right?
Yeah, Martinelli. I was going to say Martinelli, actually.
Okay, take out that. Who will you take out from that three?
Three. I mean, it's a wonder. You know how we have like everything where we want it now. I can't even believe it. It used to be Man City having all sorts of players, do you understand? But now we're like, let me see. I don't even want to touch anybody, but Martinelli on the wings is always a threat to City.
Yeah.
Like every
they can't because they will always come out. City can't sit back.
Exactly.
Yeah. For me, I just want to touch on Kai Havertz. Yes, I'll have him there. And Havertz is influencing games not just by the goals that he scores. There's a way he plays that is a problem for teams to deal with.
Yeah.
So all these runs that he does off the defenders, and he's brave in duels too, both ground and aerial. So sometimes you have to do with going long and doing crosses and stuff like that. So Havertz has become that player that Arsenal can go to. They decide to go long. When Man City cage you or pin you into your half, he can go long with Kai Havertz. He doesn't shy away from aerial and ground duels, and he has a way of distracting defenders as well. He makes these runs that don't look dangerous against you. If you ignore it, he hurts you. If you go with him, he opens the defense up for Martinelli and Saka to do damage. He doesn't make his runs towards the goal. He just like as if he's throwing away from the action, but somehow he knows what he's doing. So Kai Havertz has become very key for Arsenal. I think it's going to be a big problem for City tomorrow. On Sunday, because between him, if he goes to the right, he knows how to do it with Saka. On the left side, he knows how to do it with Martinelli. Odegaard, the coming shot from Odegaard, he also knows how to do it. So sometimes he drags you as a defender all the way. The last show we had, he mentioned it. He has a way of dragging you all the way back to our half, the Arsenal half. If you don't follow him, he has chance to do damage. If you follow him, then you create space behind you. That was how Arsenal got their second goal or first goal against Liverpool. You remember the one that Martinelli ran in? He came short with Odegaard. Then Odegaard released the pass behind the defense for Martinelli, and that's how the goal came. So yeah, I agree with you guys on those three. Prediction time. Ugum, are you going to put your money on this one? Who wins? How do you think this game is going to pan out?
Okay, I'll call this game 2-1 for Arsenal, mainly because I'm an Arsenal fan, and I'm confident and I'm hopeful that we will win. Yes, that's why I'll call it a 2-1 game for Arsenal.
Chama, are you there? Chama Nimi, prediction time. Yeah, like I've said in the past few weeks now, City in the last 14 or 15 games, they've only kept 2 clean sheets. So I don't expect them to keep a clean sheet against Arsenal. And Arsenal, on the other hand, have only let in maybe 4 goals in the same number of games. So if you look at that, and this is games against City, games against Liverpool, games against big teams in EPL. So having said that, looking at that record, is one can only say that Arsenal has a chance of winning this game, and I believe they will win this game. Sometimes in EPL or in this game, you see that teams tend to work in your favor. All of a sudden, everything you touch becomes gold. It looks like it's that time for Arsenal, that time for Arteta and his boys, and it's good for football as well. Even the neutrals, everybody wants. It seems there is a little dent on City right now in every ramification. They're dealing with the charges with FA. Their form is not that good. It's just they're not what they used to be before. So yeah, I can only predict Arsenal getting a win in this game. It might not be 2-1 because City playing at home will want to score goals. Arsenal want to score goals. For Arsenal to win this game, Arsenal might have to score up to 3 goals to win this game. So it might be a 3-2 or a 3-1 kind of game. So I predict Arsenal win, and there's going to be goals in this game. So viewers, that is it for us this weekend. It's a massive title decider. We look forward to it. It's going to be very interesting. Like I said, if you are in Houston, join us at the Velvet Oak Park. The address is going to be on the screen, the description section. You can join us there for live view of the game. We're going to have live show, interviews, and fun. Saturday, we're going to be fun pre-game show as well at the Meridian Park in Houston, Texas. 12 noon is going to be the time. Continue to stay with Transit TV. Like and share this content. Guys, let's do